This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast affiliates worldwide, as well as satellite programmers, I guess that's what they're called these days. If you'd like to send an email, studio@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And if you'd like to find out what we've done in the past, what we're doing today, and what we'll be doing tomorrow, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My first guest tonight is the one and only Elizabeth Joyce. She is an internationally renowned psychic and author. Now, she was born one of two sets of identical twins. Elizabeth Joyce has been psychic since birth. Named one of the world's greatest psychics in Citadel Press 2004, she is a spiritual healer and gives personal psychic readings worldwide. She teaches the work of Louise Hay, who was one of her mentors. Elizabeth Joyce writes a monthly astrology column in several publications, including Wisdom magazine. She is a professional astrologer, spiritual healer, counselor, medium, and clairvoyant who interprets dreams and utilizes her higher dimensional frequencies, as well as astrology readings, to get a complete and total picture of those who seek her knowledge, her wisdom, her abilities. Joining me now is the one and only Elizabeth Joyce. Her website is www.new-visions.com. And by the way, Exonation, if you would like to try and contact Elizabeth Joyce after the show, the number is 201-934-8986. And Elizabeth, welcome back. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you? We're getting ready for fall. Today's the equinox.
I know. And in fact, today is the day that everyone here started working on the X-Zone Xmas store.
Oh, today, huh?
Today, yeah, because it goes live.
That's always a good time to start the holidays, the 22nd of September.
Well, you know, it's because it goes live online on the 15th of October, so we have a lot to do. And
absolutely.
This is one sign that Christmas is coming as far as we're concerned. What have you been up to lately? Congratulations on your new book that is coming up very shortly.
That's what I've been doing all summer. We did two things this summer. We remodeled the kitchen, which takes all summer.
Yes.
And I'm writing my 9th book.
9 books, my gosh. You know, when I look over...
This one's exciting for me, Rob, because it's my life story. And as I go through it and recount all that has happened to me, I really, when you step back and you put it in words on paper, it's powerful. I've had a powerful, wonderful life in many ways. In many ways, we all have our pain and tears, but I've really had a path to glory in this lifetime.
You know, I found myself doing this over the last couple of months myself. And when you take the time to look over your life and the people that you've been blessed to enter into your life, it's just like, wow, I did all that. I've met these great people.
Yeah, that's
And
important.
it is. It is.
We really do get support. Sometimes we don't appreciate it, or we make it wrong, or we become negative. But
Yeah.
the fact that other people, we can't live without other people, and a lot of other people are so supportive to who we are. It's good to have gratitude. Very good.
Now, for the many listeners who have joined us since you last joined our stage with us, our radio show with us, tell them. I'm going to wait until we come back from break, because Craig says no, hold off, because we want everybody to know who Elizabeth Joyce is, and we don't want to interrupt her talking with a commercial. So, Craig, that's not a bad idea. When is your new book coming out?
I've got 3 chapters to go, so
Wow.
I hope that it's coming out between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's my goal.
The reason I was asking that, because this would be a super Christmas gift for a lot of people, right?
It would be I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I said this would be a wonderful Christmas gift for many people.
Yeah. It's incredible. It really is. When you learn about divine setups, you learn about that you meet people for a result that can happen 3 or 4 months later, and you may not see it in the beginning. And plus, I write in detail, and this is important, both the out-of-body experience, talking to the other side,
Right.
through telepathy, and then I had the blessing of being taken through 3 universes and finding out where the masters dwell and the different levels of ascension, which I wrote in my book Ascension.
All right,
Access to the Fifth Dimension.
Elizabeth, we have to take our break. Please stand by. Exonation. Elizabeth Joyce is our guest, and Elizabeth joins me on the other side of this brief message. I am Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. Don't go away.
This is Kevin Randall. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at www.drgibbswilliams.com.
Shamanism is recognized as a method to access the quantum level. Mastery of shamanic skills puts spiritual information and healing power into your hands. Path Home Shamanic Art School, a bonded Colorado certified occupational school, has met rigorous state standards, ensuring its director and instructors have the qualifications to teach the shamanic arts. Path Home offers its certification program in blocks of study. Block 1, a 5-day intensive, will be held in the beautiful mountain town of Coaldale, Colorado, October 13th through 18th. Registration deadline is September 12th. Experience journey trance, power animals, helping spirits, sacred space, and life purpose. Come discover your power. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magical world of shamanism. Call 303-775-3431 or visit findyourpathhome.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get back to my special guest, the one and only Elizabeth Joyce, I would just like to ask you one question. How would you like to be part of UFO history? How many of you are raising your hands? I see about 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. A lot of people out there want to, and you're probably saying, all right, Rob, how do we do that? It's very simple. Just go to www.cubesat.tech. That's www.cubesat.tech. There's going to be another website that you'll be able to go to. It's going to be CubeSat4Disclosure.com. But right now, go to www.cubesat.tech and find out how you can be part of UFO history. Elizabeth Joyce is our guest, as I said, and her website is new-visions.com. And if you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, 201-934-8986. Elizabeth, these are strange times out there. Like, look what's happening in North Carolina, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was just sent an alert from somebody who got one from Homeland Security that there is a bomb threat in the school system in Wyoming.
Yeah, there's so much that's happened with kids this year. Mm-hmm. I was saying, what is going on with these children? We have had 21 deaths in the state of Pennsylvania this summer for leaving your children in the car.
Oh, my God.
21. And one was a set of twins that were 15 months old. I don't know how people are crazy.
Well, you know, I'm not going to make excuses for anybody because I believe that parenting is the utmost responsibility that any man or woman could ever have. The children of today are the leaders of tomorrow, and we have to lead by example. We have to teach by example. And when I hear these stories and I see the news where these two parents are strung out on heroin in their car, unconscious.
That did happen too, yeah. That's another. We've had a lot of them this summer, more than usual. Now, I know that in Pennsylvania we had 109 degrees, but I do not know how a parent can leave a child in a car. But when I remember back when I was little, my grandmother was in a hospital, and my parents would drive to go visit her, and they would have to bring the kids, but they would leave us in the car. Well, but we would always open the door and have water and walk around. But these babies that can't get out of out of a driver's seat, they're just trapped.
It's a horrific world out there. And over the many years that I've had the pleasure of knowing you and calling you my friend, you have been so dead on with predictions. So dead on.
It's been a trip.
It has. And, you know, look what's happening. You called what is happening in Washington today, I think about 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, I remember I called the one in Florida, the shooting in the club.
Yep.
And then I had said that we were going to have all kinds of chaos in Chicago and Detroit. We still are going to have more. I remember saying the riots would start in Chicago, and they did. And we're not done with those. But the biggest one that I'm still curious about it, was the one I had this January. And that was the President of the United States is not running at this time.
You know what? At this time is the key word here. At this time. There are, 40 days until the election? We have the first debate with Hillary and Donald. And I'm telling you, I'm taping that. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be the best TV since Captain Crunch invented cereal.
She's gonna run over him with a slaughter machine.
Yeah, but I have to ask you, is that really her, or is that a double? Like a lot of people are saying that Hillary Clinton died and now it's a double. Some people have used biometrics.
Ridiculous. How many times have people said that Obama is cloned and is really a green frog or one of those snakes from whatever universe?
Oh, reptilian.
Reptilian,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that's David Icke. He believes everybody's a reptilian.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Yeah, neither do I. But no, conspiracy theories abound, and
I think there is trouble, Rob. I'll tell you what I got meditating,
Okay.
but I don't want to get sued for it from anybody, but I did get that the Russians are trying to poison Hillary, and maybe that's part of what's going on. People are picking up on something dubious. And I think that Trump won't. I think Trump won't show his medical records because he's got some kind of sexually transmitted disease. So
Wow.
we're just going to have to find out.
I also heard, and I don't know where I heard this. Now, just give me a second here, where somebody believed, and I don't know who this person was, that the military was out to assassinate Trump.
That's out there. I was going to just say the predictions for 2017.
Yeah.
That's one of the top predictions. That if he does make it to get sworn in, that they'll take him out within the first 2 months.
Oh my gosh! If anything was to happen, I think it will happen between now and Election Day, because if
October is, and I said this on your show, the last 2 shows, Rob, I've said October of 2016 is going to be horrific. Absolutely horrific. We do not have good astrology. We have warring energies in the astrology. So if that's going to be in the atmosphere, it's going to come from everywhere. Not only will we see problems with England, with Russia, and with Korea, but we are also going to see problems between Hillary and Donald. Look at Angelina and Brad.
Oh, I cried. Like, I sat on the couch and I just pulled out the biggest box of Kleenex I could find. Like, how could something so horrific happen? Who cares?
She filed for divorce and never told him. He read it. He heard it on the news. He didn't know that she had done that.
Now listen, if you've
She
got
doesn't want him to discipline the children, so now they're going to smear him. He wants discipline. He wants a regular bedtime. Wants them to be fed at regular meals, and she lets them run all over, run haywire.
Yeah,
so
but
what are you going to do?
In the big picture of things, do we really need to know what goes on in their bedrooms?
Of course not.
Yeah, it's good gossip. Like, a lot of people thrive on the gossip
But
pages.
it's just an example of warring souls, which is what I was saying.
Gotcha.
It's another example of warring souls, and we have too many. Look at the road rage. Just talk about people driving down the road. And leaving the children in the car, or children moving away from their parents because they're afraid of them when they're teenagers. Kids don't leave their parents unless they have a reason. And I don't think the reason is necessarily I'm first and you're not. I think the reason can be physical harm.
You said years ago that President Obama would still be in office after the next scheduled election.
I did say that. I said that in his first term, and then it didn't happen, and we both wondered why. And we thought maybe he'd only have the 1 term, and then he went into the second term. But I know that I am seeing, in fact, that the election could be postponed. And if anything did happen physically to either one of the candidates, there would be a problem.
Exactly.
That would be Halloween weekend. Watch what happens Halloween weekend.
Well, we're going to have to have you.
I'm saying that because, Rob, that's when the veil is really the thinnest on the planet. And that's when things could happen.
Why would those on the other side of the veil start interfering with what is happening on this side? Is this all part of the frequency? Is this all part of the ascension? How do you explain it?
I didn't say that anything would happen from the other side of the veil. I said that it's very narrow, and when it is, people will follow through on their mixed up, confusing thoughts easier and quicker than during another time. For example, the difference between the new moon and the full moon.
Right.
The full moon, we have the babies, we have the car accidents. It's that is what I meant. I didn't mean that anything was coming from the other side. I meant that.
All righty, that's cool, because with a veil being so thin, do you think that the sighting or the apparitions will be stronger at that time of the year? Is that why Halloween is at that time? Because the veil is so close?
They always are. All Saints Day is November 1st.
Right.
And that's supposedly when the people raise up from the graves, and then Halloween is worshiping the underworld.
Right.
So both right there together. Isn't that a strange thing?
It is, and I think that over the years, the American and Canadian dental societies have taken over Halloween because kids eat tons of Halloween. You know what? We never used to let the kids. We take them out, and then when they came home, they eat one at a time. They would put their candy on the table, and we would go through their candy because we didn't want them taking anything that was wrong, And you never know. And we'd let them have certain candy, and then we put the rest away. And it was a slow distribution of the sugar intake as well as the slow cavity buildup that our kids would have. But today,
that's always good. It's always, and most parents don't do that. It's a good idea to do that, to go through their children's candy, or just to take them around the neighborhood and not take them out to strange places.
Yeah. But one of my daughters, Stephanie, I watched her last year or the year before. We were at her house for dinner. It was Halloween. So Grandpa takes the little ones out. My first time taking the little guys out, and they're all dressed.
You loved it.
I did. And they got pillowcases full of candy. So,
that's right. We used to take pillowcases.
So what happens? They get home, and they're plowing through the candy. And I'm saying, "What, guys? What are you doing?" "Mommy said it's okay, Daddy." I said, "Are you nuts? Do you know first of all, it's no good for their health. Number 2, it's no good for their teeth. And number 3, you're going to have to scrape them off the ceiling to get them to bed."
Oh, right. But didn't she go through them carefully first?
No.
Okay. Well, now I'm just really stressing that we have to watch our kids differently, and we do have to take the time to make sure they're safe. And that's one thing that we have to do to make sure that they're safe.
That is so true, my friend. The times have changed, and when I look at how parenting was when I was a kid, and as our children were growing up to as it is today, man, you go to a restaurant, Elizabeth, and I'm sure you've seen this. People don't talk anymore while they're having their meals. They all have their little iPads out. They're smart. Yeah, they're texting.
Well, it's funny. I have a friend that owns a very expensive $200 a meal romantic restaurant in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he doesn't have the red rose and the candle on the tables anymore. Remember the red rose and the candle, the white tablecloth? He doesn't do that anymore. He said because they're so busy texting, they don't even talk to each other.
Oh, for God's sake.
What a shame.
It is truly.
I think it's becoming an addiction. I think it's a worse addiction maybe than some of the others that we have, like alcohol and things. I think that you can really be addicted to the computer to the point of where your body will shake and feel that it isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing if it's not online.
I had a doctor on the show last night, Dr. Joe Alton, and we were talking about people playing this Pokemon on their smartphones and walking into traffic, walking off cliffs.
Yep, they do.
It is definitely an addiction, and you and I have to take another addiction called a commercial break. And we'll be right back. Elizabeth Joyce is our special guest. www.new-visions.com. And if you'd like to call Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, 201-934-8986. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. Elizabeth Joyce and I will return on the other side of this short break from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Listen, once again, how would you like to be part of UFO history? You would? All you have to do is go to www.cubesat.tech. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Exonation. My guest this hour. Everyone who has ever listened to the show knows the name Elizabeth Joyce. She is my guest this hour. Her website is new-visions.com. And if you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, give her a call at 201-934-8986. Elizabeth, one of the most memorable shows that you and I have done together was when you were talking to us and you brought up the topic of psychic attacks.
Yeah, that was my first book, Rob, and I had to write that book because I had gone to a court of law 4 times to help people that were under psychic attack, where the gypsies took something like, one lady had $400,000 that they scammed her out of. Another lady was over $1 million. And it really, I said, this has to get out. These people have to know, number one, nobody can put a curse on you without your permission. And number two, that's how they scam you. They put you into fear, and they let you know that any mishap you're having, that they're responsible for. For example, if you step out of the car and you sprain your ankle, the gypsy did it. Well, that just isn't true. And it got so upsetting. I wanted to help defend and protect the people.
All right. So, how do people protect themselves from psychic attacks?
Well, I believe everything has to start at the beginning, and that's meditation. And you can protect yourself through just sitting in a chair and wrapping yourself with the white light. You know that we have light in our aura, we have light in our bodies. Part of our bodies is electrical, our heartbeat is electrical. So if you trust just that logical thinking, and you surround yourself like you're inside of an egg, then when somebody tries to put you under psychic attack, the energies will bounce right back to them like a rubber ball.
So it's just like putting up a force field.
Correct. It's putting up an invisible force field, which we can all do. And I have wonderful techniques in the book Psychic Attack, Are You a Victim? That do help you, both with people that are in the physical body and with disincarnate beings. Now, when you have a low vibration, say you're out at a bar and you've been drinking a little bit, you can pick up what's called a clinger, which is an invisible being, an invisible force field of energy that's negative, and that energy can cause havoc. I've seen it. I've had it happen to myself.
Wow.
And when I first heard about this, I didn't believe it either, Rob. Never believed it until it happened to me.
And once it happened to you, how did you react?
I was driving the car to go see my mother, who, and this was between Vermont and New Hampshire, who was ill and had been taken to the hospital. And all of a sudden, I couldn't move my feet.
Wow.
And my foot was literally being pushed on the gas pedal, and I was going faster and faster, and I couldn't move them off. And I said, I wonder if this is how people have car accidents and drive off a cliff. And I started saying, I command all negative energy to leave me now. I command all negative energy to leave me now. And I did it very forcefully. And I felt 3 entities leave me. I turned down the window to bring in the fresh air. And I just started saying, I command you to leave me now. And they did.
And it's as simple as
that. And I was all right, but it took about 10 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So how does your body restore that energy so fast?
It cleared the energy. It didn't restore
it.
Energy. The energy was, I want to say, trapped like mud on a screen. Let's put it that way. And you have to take the hose and wash it off. I cleared the energy so that I could move my feet again and slow down. Actually, I got pulled over, but that's okay.
That's another story.
Yeah, but the whole thing was a lesson. You probably have had fights with people. We all have. Yeah. And when somebody is thinking bad of you and sending you negative energy, like the jealous girl at work with people, or the mother and the new daughter-in-law, or the son and the father-in-law, you feel this negative energy. And that's no joke. That's coming from their brain to you, and it's called psychic attack.
In the many years that you've been working as a psychic, a medium, an astrologer, helping the millions of people that you have over the years, in your opinion, what has been the most gratifying moment or the most gratifying thing that you, Elizabeth Joyce, believe that you have done?
Well, 2 of them come to mind. One was the death of my father, but when I was in Hawaii, my identical twin went over a cliff with her car in New Hampshire, and I caught the car midair.
Wow.
From 6,000 miles away. And she went over a 35-foot ravine and walked away without a scratch. That was one of the most powerful examples that I can give you. And I have detailed that. I tell that story in Psychic Attack, and it will also be in Unlimited Realities, which is my memoir that I'm writing now. And then another one was when I was dead asleep in the middle of the night. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and my bedroom was almost flashing this red light of a neon sign. And this is the first time that somebody, while they were crossing over, came to me. I've had this now happen a lot, but there was this flashing red, and I knew it was somebody's blood. Right. And I woke up and I said, oh my goodness, somebody's passing away who I love dearly. I didn't know who it was. I knew it was a man. And all I did was I sat there and I took some deep breaths and I said, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the next day I found out that my favorite uncle in New Hampshire had died at the exact same time that I woke up from a massive heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. So there's things like that, they're so sharp and they're so powerful. Rob, you can't deny them, nor can you prove it to anybody. It just happened to you. It happened inside of you. And, I would love people to contact me and tell me some of their experiences. I call it the action of the God within, because we are all connected. And I think people have had these experiences and don't talk about them, don't you?
I certainly do. I certainly do, because when people talk about this, they share the experience and they let other people know that other people who may believe that they are just having this unique experience, and they don't want to feel as if they're strange, abnormal. So when people share experience, it's like sharing, wow, I'm not alone. Other
A
people.
new possibility, sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
I call it a deeply penetrating spiritual experience. And if you're a meditator, you could have dreams that are almost real. There's difference in dreams. Some dreams are just you working through energetic things that you have to clear, but some dreams come in like a television screen and you feel like you're in the middle of a movie. Have you ever had that experience?
Oh, I sure have. I sure have.
Yeah, and then so then you're being told sometimes it's precognition, and like with the Twin Towers. When I was asked about the Twin Towers on New Year's Day 2001, my answer was the Twin Towers are going to fall like pancakes, and they're going to fall, and we won't have them anymore, and this is going to happen in September right after school starts. I said that on New Year's Day to a group of 30 people.
And what did the people say after the event?
After the event, well, they said they couldn't believe it, but after the prediction, they said, oh, we don't want to talk about negative things. And when they said that, I said, you need to realize that when that happens, our entire country will live differently than we do now. It's going to be a mark in history. That's what I said.
Do you think this is a pivotal time in history when more and more people need to recognize that there is a spiritual aspect to our existence, and in order to get rid of the negativity, we have to start acting in a much more positive way in order to get this evolution that we're going through to the next level?
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen over the next 30 years. This is why I wrote the book, The New Spiritual Chakras and How to Work with Them. But yes, of course, I think that. As a matter of fact, I think it's the marriage of science and the sixth sense, or science and metaphysics.
Wow.
Because they have to go together, Rob. You know, they say that Russian scientists just found what's called the God element. I don't know if you heard about it, but they have proven that in our DNA, there is an element, one piece of the DNA, you know, the microscopic little thing that you could never see, in every single plant, tree, animal, everything that has this element in it. And that proves the law of oneness, which the great yogis have talked about for centuries. We are all one. We are different aspects of an energetic flow, but we are all one because we come together. And that's how you can have telepathy. That's how you can have psychic predictions. Because if somebody else is thinking it over in Australia, I'm going to pick it up in New York. It's like the 100th monkey.
So when you're at home like you are now, and you're trying to relax, and you're trying to, you know, clear your mind of all the chatter that you must hear mentally during a day, because you and I have discussed that, you know, you're out somewhere, you get these images, you get these impressions, you get these messages.
Oh, sure.
How do you prepare for the next onslaught of predictions that you do so well?
Well, you know, I'm teaching a workshop on this, and it's a very important workshop in New York City on November 11th and 12th. And I call it the space between two thoughts. because that space between two thoughts is where we manifest. And you know, you can try a little experiment, Rob. Try it so that next time I come on, you can tell me how it works.
Sure.
Just watch your thoughts.
Watch my thoughts.
And then there's a space, and then there's another thought.
Right.
And have you ever said, where did that thought come from?
Yeah, many times.
I get that thought. Well, it's radiating in from the people that you know that are thinking of you. Of course, we've all had that phone call come in when we said, I'm going to go call so-and-so, and the phone is ringing, and it's so-and-so. You did that to me the other day.
Really?
So we just don't know enough about it. And I think that that's the next step in evolution, to look at the mind, to work with our brain, and to have our brain grow and use more of the area than we use of our brain. And that will make us grow as humans as well.
Why do you think we use so little of our brains?
We've been trained to do that. I really wish I had that answer. Yeah. It could have to do with environment. It could have to do with trauma. It could have to do with not being, well, for example, I can use an example. Let's you and I go to Paris.
Okay.
If you took me to Paris, I've never seen the Eiffel Tower. So the first time that I ever saw it, I would go, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Now the next day or the next day or the next day, I'm not going to have the same impression I had when I first saw it, right?
Right.
That's a divine moment. That's an aha moment. And that's what's happening with our brain. We're starting to use more of it. We're starting to realize that we can do things that we never thought we could do because we felt so guilty, or we haven't felt worthy, or we've been taught differently. And consciousness is changing. The way that we think about religion, the way that we wear our clothes, the way we communicate, the way we even do medicine has changed so much.
You're so right there, Elizabeth, and we've got to take our final break. Please stand by. Exo Nation, Elizabeth Joyce is my guest this hour. If you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, 201-934-8986, or visit her online. It's a great website filled with information at www.new-visions.com. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. We'll be back after this break.
As host of Dialogue with Divinity, I am thrilled to join the X Zone Broadcast Network and their growing number of affiliates. My quest for a connection to the divine ignited my successful career path as an international spiritual counselor for over 40 years, an author of 4 books, and well-known metaphysical educator. My clients call me their spiritual mama. So my job is to offer you a radio show to help you grow spiritually with wisdom and get specific tools from guests who are experts in their field. Tune in to Dialogue with Divinity and be part of the conversation with Spirit. My goal, your happy soul. For more information, please visit my website at johannacarroll.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Coming soon to the X-Zone Broadcast Network is A Different Perspective with me, Kevin Randall, as your host. We'll be taking a close look at what is happening in the world of UFOs today with side trips into the paranormal. Guests will range from those who are household names to those who have a different perspective on a variety of topics. No topic will be taboo, but there will be tough questions asked as we all search for the truth about UFOs, the paranormal, and those things that excite us. Sometimes we'll agree with a guest and sometimes we won't, but we'll try to keep the program topical. For those of you who would like to read, be sure to visit www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com and remember to listen to the other fine programs on the X-Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net. This is Kevin Randall. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
What Happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying, is available on Amazon and at stores worldwide wherever books are sold.
Exonation, my guest this hour is Elizabeth Joyce, and I've got some great news for you, Exonation. You're going to be able to listen to Elizabeth Joyce weekly, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, and we're going to have Elizabeth's up on the schedule starting October the 1st. She's going to be on our website later on tonight. It's like a homecoming these days here in the X-Zone. Some of the most remarkable people are coming part of the X-Zone Broadcast Network. Patty Conklin, Roberta Grimes, Gwilda Wiyaka, Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, Elizabeth Joyce, Dr. Kevin Randall, Joe Weegett, Corey Kay. Like, this is the network that is going to put positive vibes out there because we don't want to be part of the problem. We all want to be part of the solution. And I think that one of the I just have to find the right word here. One of the reasons why I started this radio show 25 years ago was to bring positive people to a network that we could get the positive message out there. And it's because of you, the members of the Exo Nation, the affiliates that we have, the internet relay companies that we have. It's because we all want to make a positive difference. And adding the name of Elizabeth Joyce to the Exo Broadcast Network, well, I am so happy about that. And I'm so happy you're joining us, Elizabeth.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know, we own the power. We own our own power, our own God center, and we have to learn how to drive the car, Rob. And it's wonderful to be able to help others. I wrote a trilogy of books where I took all my classes that I've taught for the past 30 years and put them together, and it's called Opening Up to Your Intuition and Psychic Sensitivity. And if you people out there in the Exo Nation are really serious about learning how to develop your own inner powers, pick up those books. And Volume 1 is wonderful for children and teenagers and young adults.
It's that simple. Quickly, we've got about 8 minutes left, Elizabeth. What would you like to finish off this hour with?
Well, I think I wanted to talk a little bit about ascension and about how we are developing as people, both with our intuition and with our physical awareness and our mental awareness. And also, we've all gone through some devastation. We've gone through destruction before reconstruction because we've had to let go of our old ways in order to embrace the world and open up to new awarenesses. And some of us have been sick, and some of us have lost loved ones, and some of us have just had an inner battle with I did it the old way, I'm going to keep doing it, and you find out that you can't. Haven't you found that to be true, Rob?
Oh, that is so true. That is so true. Mind you, I've always believed that the only difference between a dream and reality is doing it. The dream is the idea, and the
Thinking,
reality...
talking, action.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Keep talking, you think about it, you get the idea, and we get millions of ideas just like we get those millions of thoughts every day. But then you get one that says, oh wow, I think I can align with that, I think I can make that work. And then you talk about it, you tell others, or you write, or you do an outline, and then you present it.
Excellent. And you do dream analysis, and I know I've listened to you do this. You're great at it. Have you noticed a shift in the types of dreams that people are asking you to try and decode for them?
I do, and I think that a lot of what I'm seeing is they're getting their own inner messages from their spirit guides, and they don't understand how they relate. And there are from the way that you do dreams is that there's a history in dream books about this means this or this means this, and you use them and you put them together. This is the law of oneness. If we all dream about a frog, then that means something. If we all dream about a fox, then that means something. Although there are other dreams, precognitive dream is not the same thing. A precognitive dream is when you actually see a possible event in the future that's going to happen.
Right.
And the reason that you're seeing it, you've got to understand you see these things because you have the power to change the energy and prevent them.
The power is within.
Right. And that's good. Sometimes you'll dream that you got let go of a job.
Yeah.
And what happens in reality is you get an offer for this new job that's twice the amount of money, and you leave the old job. But you dreamt that you were let go of a job, but maybe that's your inner being letting go of the negative job in the first place.
You know, I've often wondered if when we're awake, if that is the dream state, and when we...
It's supposed to be, according to the yogis.
That's right,
we're in our dream state when we're awake.
Yeah. How do you see the change? You know, you're like we've said many times, you're a very gifted psychic. What kind of psychic predictions can you give our listening audience tonight so they know why they're going to give you a call at your number, which is 201, just a sec here, I should know by now, 201-934-8893. 8986. Give them a little bit of a
What I'm
sample.
able to do for people is to talk to them and to feel their energy as their energy comes through my body. Picture this. I'm talking to you and we're both antennas, we both have an electrical mind.
Yeah.
So your energy is going to go through my body and I'm going to feed it back to you. So I in essence become your blessed higher self.
Oh, cool.
And I am telling you what you need to do to straighten out a situation, which maybe your angels haven't been able to get through to you. And then you hear it and you go, well, I don't really want to do that. I want to do it this way. But the outcome that you desire may not be the outcome that will be the best for all concerned.
Right.
So you can talk to people. And as I do it, I pick up other things like what your son told you or your Uncle Steve told you. And how did I know that they had a son or an Uncle Steve?
Right.
So I'm able to take their energy, pull it through my body, and give it back to them with clarity. And if they follow the steps that Spirit gives them, everything works out.
Truly fascinating.
Amazing. It's fascinating. It really is. And even in science, I told you the marriage of science and metaphysics, even in science, they are beginning to find that this is true.
You said something about angels a few minutes ago, and I have never seen so many people talking about angels on the street, talking about angels all over the social media, and even people calling us up and asking when we are going to get more angel programming on.
Well, that's Doreen Virtue. She was one of my students years ago. And she and Hay House have really brought out the angel aspect. And people like the fact that there's an idea that you're covered by grace or covered by angels. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter, Rob. What does matter is the comfort that it brings.
Exactly.
And if it's a universal comfort to talk about angels where they could be guides, where they could be something else, that's good, because then they can understand on a certain level. So the word has become reverent. The word has become blessed, and that's good.
Do you have a few predictions you can share with us?
Well, I do know that October is going to be a tough month, and that the United States is going to go through an awful lot with this election. And I do feel that we have to watch North Korea. I think we should pray for peace and pray that some of these people that think so opposite from us, that are so negative, that don't respect life, really start receiving their positive energy quicker, because we're on a precipice. We really are. Are we going to blow ourselves up, or are we going to continue and grow in consciousness? I choose to continue and grow in consciousness.
As do I, my dear.
And when if the whole Exo Nation started light emerging from themselves over to North Korea, who knows what would happen?
Well, you know what we should do one hour, my friend, is have you lead us in an Exxon thought session.
Well, you're going to have me on, and that's what I do at the end of my show. I always do a meditation. I end every show with meditation.
Excellent.
And the best part about it is you're going to record it, right, Rob?
Yes,
are they going to be able to get the pods?
Definitely.
So that means they'll be able to have that meditation all the time.
Excellent. What are your final thoughts for the Exo Nation tonight, Elizabeth? We've just got over a minute left.
Well, we are on the equinox, and we're in the world of balance today. We have the same amount of sunshine as we do darkness in every part of the world. And my thought is, could that happen to every human being? Let's have the warmth of the sun fill our hearts, and let's have the darkness be there when we are loving in secret. It's okay. Let's just keep the love flowing.
And I'd just like to add one little thought onto that. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Yeah.
That's good.
And go on.
The way in is the way out, and the way out is the way in, always.
I love that.
That's an Elizabeth Joyce.
Elizabeth, where can your website is new-visions.com. Your books are available on amazon.com as well?
Yeah, that's true.
And I look forward to having you as a member of the Exxon Broadcast Nation.
I'm thrilled.
And you take care of yourself, and thank you for all the wonderful work you do, and congratulations on your new book.
So maybe we'll talk again around Halloween.
That sounds like a plan. All right, Elizabeth, stand by. Exo Nation, Elizabeth Joyce has been my guest this hour, and once again, if you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, area code 201-934-8986. Her website is www.new-visions.com, and you'll be able to find out when Elizabeth is going to be on the network at www.xzbn.net. I am Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.